we run a deer processing plant. But after your harvest, people, the excitement, boom, just shot that first deer. You go up there, you're high-fiving, you're congratulating, then all of a sudden, what do I do with it?
There I was, back in the wild again. And I felt right at home, where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again. Just like it happened so many times before. Hey, Maddie!
You get into the hunting, make sure you learn all that. Make sure you get great knives, which up to about 3 years ago, I was not a believer in the knives that I'm getting ready to mention. But I'd never used them. So I was always, just the big buck knife, fixed blade, got it in your sheath, and, hanging down to here, and, big thick blade. And I'm thinking that's what you need to gut a deer with. Then I got introduced to the Outdoor Edge. And I'm telling you what, the swing blade is amazing. I was never a believer into a gut hook. Gut hooks, they just won't work. They're going to hang up. Well, the swing blade has a gut blade on it that I have almost tried to bust the guts. Going up as quick as I can, all that. And you can't do it. So, you get the deer field dressed. You make sure that you have cleaned the whole inside of the cavity. If you do bust a gut, or if your arrow or slug or anything like that goes into the guts and busts it, make sure you trim all of that out. That has a lot of E. coli in it. You cannot wash E. coli out. When you put water to E. coli, it just spreads it. Okay, another thing. A lot of people say, ice, 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 ice. Throw ice in it. Well, that's good. Go ahead and throw the ice in it. Make sure it's clean. When you throw the ice in there and it melts, it soaks into the meat. So all that E. coli is soaking into it. You don't want to waste meat, but you also don't want to make your family sick. So cut the gut flaps out. If you have to cut the fish loins out, you just have to. They're the best, but you might have to just cut them out and at least trim them up. Get them out of there. You get it gutted. You get it back to your truck. You're all happy now. Oh, stage one is done. Got him back to my truck. Then all of a sudden, now what do I do? I don't know how to cut a deer. I don't know how to skin it. That's great. Not everybody needs to know how. But you need to know who the best local processor is. You need to know the processor that fits you the best. If you don't mind your deer being mixed in with other deer, then you can take it to this processor. But if you want your own deer back and you don't want it mixed in with Joe Blow, who did not clean the gut flaps out or whatever, then you need to really do a lot of research and pick a good processor. You know what? If you've got to drive 2 hours to a good processor, make the drive. Because you spend all that money into hunting. Spend all that time, you take off work, you're away from your family. And then all of a sudden you get that deer back and you fry that first hamburger or that first steak or whatever, bite into that first piece of summer sausage, and it tastes gamey. I hate the word gamey.
What does that mean?
I don't really know what gamey means, to
Like
be honest
bad?
with you. But yeah, gamey is bad. And what gamey is tainted deer. It's when the fat starts to spoil. The meat's starting to spoil because people say deer is gamey. I don't know what gamey is. There's not a book or anywhere in a book that says gamey tastes like this. Okay? Deer tastes like deer, people. Whether you kill it in Montana, whether you kill it in Iowa, whether you kill it in southern Indiana, or if you kill it in the swamps of Louisiana, they're all going to taste differently. But it's deer. It tastes like deer. Beef tastes like beef. Pork tastes like pork. Chicken's chicken. Deer is deer. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So, gaminess, we're going to throw out the window. Unless it's tainted and spoiled. That's what makes deer gamey tasting. Gutted, cleaned. You get it chilled out. You get it to a local processor that fits you the best. Then you will have a successful hunt for the whole year. Not just that successful hunt of killing it and then eating it's unsuccessful. Look us up on Facebook, Instagram, under Field to Feast Outdoors, Matty Marsh, YouTube, Field to Feast Outdoors, and ask questions. We will certainly answer.
There I was, back in the wild again. And I felt right at home, where I belong. I had that feeling coming over me again. Just like it happened so many times before. Hey, Matty! Yeah!
A good friend of me and Matty's, Ted Nugent, says it very well. Every animal's a trophy.